You see the tavern only when you are already lost, when your phone battery is almost dead and the trees look the same in every direction. When the dirt path you followed fades into wet leaves and the shadows feel like they are watching you. First, you smell it, warm bread, wood smoke, and something sweet like cinnamon. Then you hear it, a slow fiddle playing a tune that feels familiar even though you are sure you have never heard it before. When you push past a low branch, there it is, between the pines, a small building with black timber and a roof like a hunched shoulder, yellow light in its windows, and a wooden sign hanging by one rusty chain. The sign reads, "The Thicket's Rest," under the name. Someone carved 3 rules with a knife. No names, no mirrors, leave before the song ends. You tell yourself you are only going to ask for directions, only going to borrow a phone charger, only going to rest for 5 minutes. You have been walking for hours. You can see your breath, even though the calendar says summer. Your feet decide for you. You go to the door. The handle is cold iron. The door opens before you touch it. Warm air rolls out like a blanket pulled from a dryer. Inside, the tavern is bigger than it looks from outside, but not by much. Beams cross the ceiling, and dried herbs hang from them in small bundles. The room holds a long bar for round tables, and a fireplace with a stubborn fire that does more light than heat. A woman stands behind the bar, polishing a glass with a white cloth that never seems to get dirty. Her hair is black and straight and cut blunt at her chin, her eyes pale grey, like river ice. The fiddle you heard outside is being played by a thin man in the corner. His bow moves slow. The tune circles back on itself again and again, but never reaches a final note. The few customers in the room look up as you enter and then look away. Again, as if they do not want to be seen looking. "Evening," says the woman behind the bar. Her voice is calm and smooth. "Welcome to the rest. You look cold and far from home." "Yeah," you say, because it is true. "I got turned around. My phone is dying. Can I do you have an outlet? Or directions to the road?" "We have both," she says. "But everything has a price." You laugh a little, trying to be polite. "I have cash." Her mouth curves, not quite a smile. "Not that kind of price. Sit, warm yourself. Choose carefully." You think of the rules on the sign. No names, no mirrors. Leave before the song ends. You do not see a mirror anywhere, so that is easy. The song is still going, so there is time. And names are simply you can avoid giving a name. You sit at the bar. The stool creaks under your weight, as if it is used to someone heavier than you. A wooden board on the shelf lists the drinks in careful handwriting. Homecoming cider, forget-me-not tea, hush ale, black lantern stout. No prices, no sizes, number. Brands, under the list, another line. "We accept things you won't miss." "What does that mean?" you ask. The woman cocks her head. The price fits the order. A small drink, a small thing. A big drink, a big thing. Something you won't miss, for something you think you want. She reaches under the bar and sets a simple clay cup in front of you. You look like homecoming. "Water is fine," you say quickly. "And a phone charger, please." "Water is free," she says, "but the glass costs a day." Before you can respond, she adds, "A day you have already lived." We do not cheat here. You try to decide if this is a joke. The other customers look ordinary enough at first glance. A man in a brown coat has mud on his boots and a hat he never takes off. A girl in a green dress sits very still with her hands folded on the table, eyes on the fire. The fiddler plays and plays. You notice the clock over the fireplace is wrong. Its hands tick backward, slow as a spider. And sometimes they stop and twitch like something stuck in the gears. I really just need directions, you say, or a charger. The woman sets a small wooden box on the bar and flips the top open. Inside is a tangle of old cables, a mess from many years, wide connectors no phone has used in 10 years. Slim black cords with frayed ends, smooth white cables, wrapped tight with dried out rubber bands. She pulls one free that happens to fit your phone. Leave the device here while it drinks, she says, placing the charger on a peg under the bar. That is safe if you stay until the song ends. Safer if you leave before then. Safer still, if you do not taste anything at all. I'll wait, you say. No drink, then. Wise, she says, but she does not look pleased. Some cannot help tasting. The room persuades them. You mean to laugh again, but cannot. The air smells good bread, cinnamon, spruce sap, and something else under it all, something like rain on metal. The fire makes a popping sound without throwing sparks, as if the wood is pretending to burn. The girl in green turns her face toward you. She is young, but her eyes are old. Don't tell her your name, she says in a small voice. If she takes your name, the path home can't find you. I won't, you promise. What should I call you? She thinks a moment. I had 3 summers once, she says. I paid them for soup when I was hungry. Now I don't remember what the sun is like. You can call me Autumn so I don't forget there were other seasons. The woman behind the bar gives the girl a steady look. We don't encourage new guests to be dramatic. Autumn lowers her eyes and says nothing. You tell yourself again that you are only here for a charger. You hold your hands near the fire. Heat reaches you slowly, like a shy animal. Your shoulders loosen. Your eyelids feel heavy. The song from the fiddler goes on and on. It curls around the room like smoke and settles behind your ears. Your phone lies on the peg under the bar with the cable in its mouth, little red light blinking like a heartbeat. You check the clock. The minute hand has already fallen backward by 5 marks. It is not right. It makes you uneasy. The door opens, and a gust of dark air slips in. A man steps through, shaking drops of something from his shoulders. At first you think rain, but there is no rain smell, only cold iron and old leaves. The man looks at you. In his face you see a tired version of yourself, a kind of future you do not want. He tips 2 fingers like he is touching the brim of a hat he is not wearing, and slides into the chair in the corner behind you. He stares at the red-painted door on the far wall. You had not noticed that door before. It has no handle, only a round iron ring like a knocker, and the paint is thick, a dark red that looks wet even though it is dry. What is behind that door, you ask? The pantry, says the woman without looking. The road, says the man in the brown coat, almost. At the same time, don't, Autumn whispers. The fiddler never stops. The song rises, falls, circles. It is not quite happy and not quite sad. It wants to end but cannot. You realize with a small shock that there are no windows. The light you saw from outside must come from somewhere else. You look up at the ceiling. Beams between them. The darkness is not empty. It is a kind of fur, thick and soft, and it moves as if breathing. I think I should go, you say. My phone should have enough charge now. The woman sets the polished glass down and folds the cloth. If you leave before the song ends, she says softly, the woods will still be the same. If you wait until it ends, The door will open to where you need to go. But waiting has a cost. What cost? She meets your eyes. You feel cold again. Your way home, she says. Not the ground under your feet, not the lines on the map. The memory of how your home feels. Your mother's porch light. The tilt of the step you always step over. The smell of your own pillow. Pay that, and the door will open, and you will walk without fear. You will find a building that looks like your house. You will know it is yours, because the key will turn. But when you close your eyes, there will be no picture inside them. If you want your picture, you must leave before the song ends. You swallow, so I should leave now, if you can, she says, and nods toward your phone. You have taken from my shelf. The charger is mine. The current here is mine. You have tasted nothing, but your device has. If you leave without balancing the scale, something comes with you. What something? You, says Autumn, so quiet you almost don't hear. A version of you that owes. You reach for your phone. The woman does not stop you. The cable slides out. The battery shows 18%. Not enough to call anyone out here, but enough to run maps. If you can get a signal, you stand. The stool's legs scrape the floor. The fiddler's bow hesitates. A tiny stutter, but you feel everyone notice. You take one step toward the door and the room tilts. Not much, just a slow, gentle lean, as if the tavern were a ship shifting on a wave. Pay something small. The woman suggests, polite, helpful, careful. A childhood song you never sing, a teacher's name you never say, the taste of a fruit. You do not buy any more. We keep those safe. You will not notice the whole. Don't, Autumn says. They are all bird seeds. You don't notice when one goes, but the birds do. After a while, no birds come. Your heart taps fast. You put your phone in your pocket and turn toward the door. The red one catches your eye. It seems to breathe. You tell yourself it is just the flicker from the fire. You know better. The man in the corner, the tired version of you, speaks without moving his mouth much. It's worse if you open it, he says. But some of us always open it. Why? Because we leave ourselves a note. You do not want to ask, but the question leaves your mouth. What note? The man lifts his hand and points to the underside of the bar. You kneel, not sure why you obey, and there carved into the wood, half hidden by shadows, are letters in your own handwriting. Your name, you jerk back so fast, your head bumps the bar. No names, the sign said. You have already broken the first rule, long before you read it. Not today, some other time, or the same time, in a loop. Your stomach sinks, as if floors have just opened under you. Sometimes the first time is not the first, the woman says gently, almost kind. Sometimes you come in from the cold, because you already know we are here. I'm leaving, you say, because the alternative is to collapse on the floor. Leave before the song ends, she says, or you will owe more. You go to the main door. The iron handle is warm now. It does not turn. The song swells. The fiddler's bow shakes. The clock ticks backward and then stops. The room waits. The red door is behind you. You feel it like a hot eye on the center of your back. Okay, you whisper. Okay, okay. You fumble for an offering, something. You could give that you won't miss. You think of the taste of a mango your aunt used to cut for you in summer, the juice running down your wrist. You think of the smell of your childhood blanket, the blue one with the fox on it. You think of the exact sound your best friend made when he laughed so hard he had to lean on the wall. You realize you miss all of them. You realize you cannot give any of them away. Take a story, the woman suggests softly. Tell it once, and then it will be ours, and you will not tell it again. You won't miss that. You don't tell your best stories enough. You choose the memory of a small, quiet thing, the night your mother taught you to whistle in the kitchen. 2 fingers and a long breath, and both of you fell over laughing when you only made a squeak. You tell it very fast, like pulling off a bandage. As you speak, the room leans back to level. You feel something lift from your chest, light and warm, like a moth leaving a window. The woman reaches up without moving and catches it in air like a soap bubble. She puts it under the bar. You do not see where it goes. Balanced, she says, go. Before the note lands, you lunge for the door. It opens. Night air hits your face, sharp as apples. You step onto the leaf-strewn ground and do not look back. You tell yourself again and again not to look back. The fiddle keeps playing. The tune does not end. You hurry between the trees. The tavern's light gets smaller behind you, then is gone. The woods do not get easier. The path under your feet is soft and gives like a mattress. Branches reach for you without touching. The map on your phone shows a blue dot spinning in place. You keep moving anyway. When your battery dies at 12%, you keep moving. When the fiddle falls quiet at last, so suddenly you almost stumble, you freeze and listen. Wind moves through the leaves. An owl calls once, twice. Far away, a road breathes. With the sound of traffic, you run toward it. You spill out onto asphalt just as the sky begins to grey. A car rushes past, and the driver honks, swerving around you with a shout you cannot hear. You recognize the bend, the old billboard with half the paint peeled off, the ditch full of brown grass. You know where you are. Relief hits you hard enough to make your knees watery. You walk the last mile to your apartment, with your hands jammed in your pockets to keep them from shaking. You tell yourself you will not think about the tavern again. You will drink water, you will sleep, you will wake, you will be fine. On your kitchen table, there is a coaster you have never seen before. Round wood, burned into the top in dark. Letters, the thicket's rest. Your breath stops for a second and then starts again too fast. You do not own coasters. You never use them. You pick it up with 2 fingers like it might be hot and hold it under the light. On the back, written in your handwriting, is a note. Don't give your name. Don't drink. Don't look back. Don't open the red door. There is a cold, soft sound behind you, like paint drying in a quiet room. You turn, even though the note says not to. Your hallway closet door, the one you always wish had a lock, is painted red. You tell yourself there is a simple reason. A joke by a friend with a key. A color you forgot you chose. A sign from a landlord you missed in your email. You step closer, because that is what you always do when something is wrong. Your name is a bird inside your mouth, beating its wings. You are not supposed to say it. You are not supposed to hear it. You touch the wood. It is warm. From the other side of the door, you hear the tavern song begin again, soft and slow, like a welcome. The iron ring on the door is not iron anymore. It is the charger cable you borrowed, bent into a perfect circle. It is the shape of the thing you still owe. You back away, slow, careful, like leaving a sleeping animal. You put the coaster down on the table. You put your hands at your sides so they stop shaking. You say in a low voice to the empty room, I'm not going inside. The song keeps playing. Your kitchen clock ticks backward once and then forward. Again, unsure. Outside your window, the morning light looks like it is thinking about whether to arrive. You keep your eyes on the door you will not open. You keep them there a long time. And because you are wise, or scared, or both, you do not test the last rule. You do not wait to see if the song ends. You tell yourself there is only one lesson, worth remembering. If you find a strange tavern in the woods, don't go inside. And if it follows you home, don't open the red door.